How to use reverse psychology with a man, get effective results. This video is gonna show you exactly how to use reverse psychology with a man to make him want to be around you more and think it was all his idea. When you don't know how to use reverse psychology, you actually end up losing a guy that you're interested in, and he ends up feeling like you're just not a woman he wants to be around, and it's a very bad situation. So I'm gonna make sure this does not happen to you. So hey, it's Erin, your personal love expert, back again on the channel where we make men make sense. VixenDaily. If you want to learn how to use reverse psychology with a man to get very effective results, then write "I'm ready" right now in the comments down below while the intro plays. This video has been requested so many times. A lot of you guys want to know how to use reverse psychology to capture a man's heart, and that is why I've decided to do it for you. But before I go on, I have a very small favor to ask. If you like this video, if you like any of my videos, if you like what I'm wearing, if you like love advice, give me a like, a thumbs up. Give me a like, share, subscribe, tell people all about it. So guys, before I actually go on, I wanted to announce that I have openings available for private coaching. So if you would like one-on-one coaching, I invite you to sign up at VixenInsider.com, and there we will be able to really delve into how to use reverse psychology, how to do all this stuff to basically turn the tables and flip the script. So the way you feel right now, we're gonna make the man in your life feel, okay? And we're gonna work together to achieve that together. So I do invite you to join VixenInsider.com. Now I wanna explain a little bit about reverse psychology and why it works. The whole crux and point of reverse psychology is exactly as it sounds. It is to flip the script, turn the tables, and to make the man in your life feel the way you feel. So if you feel like you're chasing him, we're gonna go boom! And he's gonna start feeling like he's chasing you, and it's gonna be magic. Maybe not literally, but it'll feel magical, I promise. So I'm gonna go right into number one. The first thing to do is not to pressure for commitment. So what this means is you're not gonna try to convince him to commit. You are going to realize that you're single until he's either locked you down or until you realize that he was never gonna lock you down in the first place. So a lot of women, they'll do this thing where they make a mistake and they start acting like they are a man's girlfriend. They start giving him everything without even getting anything in return. This actually does the opposite of what you would expect. The women that do this, they do this in order to convince the man that they want to be in a relationship with them. The opposite is true. When you give a man everything without getting any result, you actually make the man feel like you're gonna stick around no matter what, and he starts taking you for granted. He starts not really wanting to do anything with you because you've given him everything. You don't pressure him to commit. You live your life with walking power, which is a really internal mindset where you're willing to walk away if you don't get what you want, but at the same time, you're not pressuring him. The real reason beyond what I just explained that pressuring a man actually kills the attraction level and it kills any kind of budding relationship is because when you try to force someone to do something, right? Whether it is subscribing to a channel. If I said, hey, subscribe now, or I hate you, subscribe now. I need you to do that. Subscribe now or you're gonna be an idiot. Do you know what happens? You look at me and you say, why would I ever subscribe? If you wanna subscribe because the advice helps you, then awesome, subscribe. If you don't, then don't. I'm not gonna be sitting here pressuring anyone to do things that they don't want. In the same token, like let's say you were buying a car, and let's say the car salesman goes up to you and says, you need to buy this car now. Well, wait, you want to try the car before you buy? Oh no, how dare you? You better do this now or you're a bad person. If you don't do this now, then I really don't think you're a civilized human being. I think you're a bad person. Wow. You're not going to buy the car? Wow, way to go. Wow. That is what you literally sound like to a man when you pressure him to commit. Reverse psychology is an effective tool, not because you are harassing or convincing someone to commit. Reverse psychology works because you leave the choice up to someone. If they want to buy, they buy. If they don't, they don't. This is what you do not realize applies to relationships. If you want a guy to commit, stop trying to force him, stop trying to pressure him, and then if he wants to, he will. But if you pressure him, you'll literally nip it in the bud before it even begins. The flip side of this and the winning mindset is to what? If you've watched any of my videos, you know the answer. But if you haven't, I want to really let you think for a second before I go into it. It's giving a man space. Giving a man space is by far the only and most common answer to so many relationship issues. So if you're in a situation where you like a guy and you think he might like you, but you don't know what to really do, you really need to look at your situation and say, am I giving him space? And if you're not, you are going to make it impossible for him to fall in love. You're going to kill his process of falling in love, and you're going to make him feel suffocated. The pressure is the same kind of negative emotion that you're going to generate if you don't give space. So give space and don't pressure. And this all happens automatically when you have this inner mentality of, I will do this relationship as long as I want, but if it's not going the way I want, then I'll walk away. And I am single until he locks me down. So again, don't make this mistake of being in a situation where you act like you're not single and you start giving him the girlfriend experience if you're actually not his girlfriend. It's gonna automatically put you in a winning situation where you are breathing. You're giving him the opportunity to breathe. You're creating breathing room. You're giving space, but it's because you really aren't trying to force anyone to do anything. The crux of reverse psychology is that you're not making people feel that if they don't do something that they're bad. You don't do that. That comes off as desperate, as needy. What I'm telling you is not random advice that doesn't really have any connection to reality. The only thing that matters here is that you really internally are automatically doing things that actually make you do the right things. Do you really think that I would ever sit here and just say, hey, give a man space? No, there's a reason. I do things and I say things because there are reasons behind it. So the key understandings are the biggest thing that I want you guys to pay attention to, because the real truth is the main reason that people subscribe to this channel is because of the perspectives, right? The perspectives that make things work. And that's what I always want you to pay attention to. It's the winning perspectives. Now, the winning perspective that goes even deeper, I want to take you one step further to really get the crux of why not committing to a man until he locks you down works. It's because in his gut, he can sense that he's going to lose you. He'll really lose you if he doesn't step up. He knows he could lose you because you will walk away. You're a woman that is not going to stick around in a situation that she doesn't want. And that's a very powerful mindset. It all boils down to walking power. Walking power is what? Running on a treadmill, running, walking. No. Getting a Fitbit and tracking your steps. No. What is walking power? Walking power is a mindset. It means you will walk away if you're not in a situation where you get what you want. And it doesn't mean that you're going to pressure people, because you are a woman that says, nope, I will either be in a relationship with this guy or I'll go as forward as I can. But if things aren't naturally working out, then you just walk away. No hard feelings, no drama, no announcements. You're not saying, I'm done with you if you do this. No, you are not doing that. You are saying, look, it's okay. I wanted it to work and it didn't, but that's okay. I have a life. I have stuff to do. All walking power means, to boil it down, is that you basically say no thank you to what you don't want, and you say yes to what you want. And if it doesn't work, you walk away. A nice little trick that I like to advise is to just have walking power as a mindset and a vibe that you give off. Keep your options open until a man clearly locks you down. Keeping your options open gives you kind of an abundance mentality. That's the term for it. Abundance. It means that you have options, you have choice, you have other things that you can do. You aren't relying on him to make you happy. You aren't relying on him as this person that has to fulfill everything you want. You are clear and you are okay. You have options. And the bottom line is that when a man knows he'll lose you if he doesn't commit, if he had any desire to, he will be motivated to step up And if he doesn't, then you know he would never have in the first place. In other words, you won't be questioning yourself forever. You won't be second guessing and going, why? What could I have done? You'll know that there's nothing you could have done. And I am giving you the path to literally know you do exactly what you need to do, and it's gonna be the same every time. It doesn't matter which guy, it doesn't matter what situation. I'm trying to just give you these pillars of what to do and what not to do. Walking power, no pressure. These make you not desperate. These give off a vibe that literally makes a guy put you first and commit, or gives you the clear answer that nope, he was never going to. It's one or the other. There's no in between. There's no what if. You'll know, and that's a very powerful thing. So now I want to get you into tip number 2, which is don't get too excited about the guy. So this basically means don't get your hopes up about the guy. So why is getting excited a bad thing? I know you might think that getting excited is a good thing, but it actually does not serve you, and it only hurts you. Getting too excited about a relationship or a budding relationship nips the relationship in the bud. Here's why. When you get excited, you start building him up in your mind, a fantasy of, oh, I know this is gonna be so great. We're gonna have this great life. We're gonna have this future. But you know what you do when you do that? You put pressure on yourself and on him. You have to remember what I said earlier in the video, which is that you should not put pressure. And by the way, I invite anyone who is interested in learning more about this to come to VixenInsider.com. That is VixenInsider.com, because if you need help getting exactly to the root of how to be a woman that doesn't come off as someone that's putting pressure, who wants to inspire commitment, I can help you with my one-on-one coaching. It is literally what will make the difference for you between not knowing exactly what you're doing here and knowing exactly what to do to get results. So that's VixenInsider.com if you'd like to connect with me. Now, pressure and all this stuff happens when you are excited. So you're excited, you're hopeful, and then it turns to this need to maintain, and fear kind of takes hold because you start thinking you're gonna lose him. You're fearful. You fear that you'll lose him, which is what I call fear of loss. Fear of loss murders relationships. Fear of loss makes you come off as way too needy, and guess why? When you fear that you're losing him, you become desperate. You seek reassurance, and when you seek reassurance, you turn your whole life apart. You start acting in ways that are desperate, and it makes him run. Men run from women that are constantly seeking reassurance, and they run into the arms of women that are able to say, look, I know that I am going to be fine and happy regardless of what happens here. You add to each other's life. Get rid of this agenda thinking, get rid of this fear of loss and this reassurance seeking, and start literally living in the present. Be simple in the moment and enjoy the nature of your current relationship, not what it could be and not what it should be. This is a very good way to take the pressure off, and you will notice much more effortless and effective results if you start really adopting these mindsets. Tip number 3, the less interaction you have, the better. Focus on quality, not quantity. So this is a very universal mindset and key thing to keep in mind. When you focus on quality, you actually put yourself in a winning position because you have good moments that he remembers. When you're just always available, you're always there, things can get stale, and texting is a great way to really kind of give you this illustration, but it is a general thing to apply across the board. Less is more. Leave things on a good note rather than kind of be there all the time and constantly want to be in communication. So don't expect them to respond when you text right away, right? Don't try to push people and pressure people into doing things. That's the key thing here. Don't try to force anything. Let things happen naturally and focus on quality. So trying to be occupied in your own life is a very easy way to kind of automatically do this because you have stuff to do. You can't always be focusing on him. So have a full life, show up full, and this is gonna be a very powerful, powerful lesson for you. Tip number 4 is be feminine and embrace your feminine nature. In a way, feminine energy is kind of like life energy. It's a wide range of emotional understanding. It's a healing, it's a nurturing instinct. It's something that you need to really embrace. I'm not saying to fake it. You actually just want to look at your own life and look at the places where you're kind of soft or graceful and feminine and really accentuate it, really play it up, that nurture, the warmth, the kindness, that emotional range, that's a beautiful and essential ingredient that will actually magnificently help your love life. I'm not saying to fake it, and whoever you are naturally, that's the you to bring out, but just don't think of being feminine as something negative. Embrace it as something positive, because it's going to be a very appealing, instinctual thing that men love. Tip number 5 is to be silly and surprising. You might be looking at me right now saying, what are you talking about? Again, just like with feminine energy, what I mean is not to be fake, but what I do mean is to stop looking at society as a barometer for how you should behave. Don't change the you inside because you think you have to. Men and humans are attracted to something unique and wild in a way and free. So if you're silly, if you have a funny sense of humor, embrace that, nurture it, accentuate it, because he will love it and he will be instinctually pulled toward it. Tip number 6 is to be free with your words. This is a very inline philosophy that kind of ties together feminine energy plus being silly. All of these mean find the you that is the most free, the most feminine, the most you, the most silly, the most whatever it is. Try to find those things in you. When do you feel free? What do you really believe? Do you have any beliefs that are kind of central to who you are that you're kind of afraid of? If you find a guy that connects with your true beliefs or who you really are, and you express those in a composed way, in a slow way, you don't just throw random crazy things at people, but you have a you that you know yourself, you know who you are, and you know what you want. You know what you really in your core think. Now, it doesn't mean you can't change what you think or change who you are. It doesn't mean that you can't be different. It doesn't mean that you can't change and, become a different person, but it's nice to be around people that are just refreshingly themselves. The point here is honestly to know yourself, but to also embrace these parts of yourself that make you who you are. You don't need to just go rogue and start being different because you think that it's going to attract people, because it won't. The real crux of what matters is you're not pressuring anyone to be different, but you're also not pressuring yourself to be different. You're letting yourself be you. You're naturally who you are and you're not running from it. You're aware, you're self-aware, and you can find people that are naturally kind of in line with what you are and how you are. So I think that information will be the biggest takeaway here, because that's kind of what makes you a fulfilled person, and it's what makes you able to enhance your life. It's when you have self-awareness. And if you do want to go deeper in any of these subjects, I do invite you to join VixenInsider.com. I go behind the scenes and I can do one-on-one coaching with you if you have any problems in your love life, if you want to learn any, tactics to make sure that you can do everything that I've described here. And of course, comment if you have any thoughts or questions or anything you want to say, and also be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can have the exact love life that you really want. And I will see you guys next time.